Well, was getting ready to have my spiritual meetup meeting, and was guided to after I cleared myself and presenced myself for the meeting, was guided to pull out this deck. It is my Angels and Ancestors book, Oracle deck. And this one is good for great guidance because it's a little detailed and I get a lot of hits on it. Interestingly, two cards fell out, Arrow and Shield Maiden, and we'll get into both. But Arrow came out just earlier this week or last week. So interesting that this card is still remaining. So there still must be energy that needs to clear around this certain concept. So let's read about it. So what is the Arrow saying? Surround yourself with protective energy. So somebody out there still needs to be working on this. Message: surround yourself with positive people and experiences and environments that make you feel safe. Call on your angels, guides, and ancestors to bring you protection. I think maybe we're forgetting because we've been dealing with so much stuff lately that we forget that, all we have to do is just ask, and it really, really works, and it happens. Maybe we're getting around certain groups of people and stuff, and we're forgetting our power. We're forgetting how amazingly connected we are, right? So the messages about this is: arrows have long been revered as symbols of protection, as many native peoples would use the bow and arrow as a weapon of defense. When an arrow appears in meditation or dreams or an oracle reading, it's a sign you need to protect yourself and what is important to you. Aha. I feel like a lot of us are being tested. I've been hearing this from, my circles. I belong to a lot of chats, and people leaving messages or voice clips and whatnot, speaking about how that their spirituality, their beliefs are falling away, that they feel like they're it's almost like smoke in the breeze, and they're just trying to grasp onto those things that were so solidly in their lives before, right? So maybe this is the message, like protect yourself and what is important to you. What is important to you? Your spiritual practices. Maybe it's burning incense. Maybe it's, doing oils. Maybe it's creating. Maybe it's candle work. Maybe it's, quantum healing codes. Maybe it's sound healing. And maybe you're getting around people who don't quite understand it. They're, because you're so high vibrational, you're being almost guided to be around other types of people to help, I won't say raise the collective, but help shake things up a bit. And then what happens is, so you're around these very dense people, right? And you start forgetting. You kind of feel helpless or hopeless because you know that you have all of this ability, and when you're around people like you, like-minded people, your abilities and their abilities create such a change. But then when you're around people who don't believe, who are unwilling to believe, how can you move? How can things manifest so easily and whatnot? It's like as if when you're around people who are like you, or that are high vibrational, or believers, or willing to trust or believe, even if they don't they don't understand it, and they're like a little skeptical, if for that reason of hope, that little space of hope that opens it up and that gives like freedom and space to create, right? And so it's almost like having two types of people: a basket full of heavy cement that's solid, that's solidified, or a basket full of feathers and pebbles, or something like lighter, much lighter. So it's very easy to move things around, and for things to happen, clear it out amongst feathers and pebbles, or feathers and something else very light, that it is to try and create a change or movement in a solid concrete, cement, or rock, right? So when you get around those solid concrete people, it's almost like you feel that you can't do anything. But just remember that you're the basket. So, do whatever it takes, or just imagine that what you're doing, whatever it takes to break up that cement, create it into feathers and sand, or whatever you want to say it, So your beliefs, maybe it's your beliefs that you hold so dear to you, or your practices, you're being around people who are heavier and denser, and they're making you feel like that's unnecessary. But if it is necessary for you, you must keep doing it, because the manifestation of a new earth depends on you, right? Okay, let me read this part again. It's a sign you need to protect yourself and what is important to you, because not everyone has the same intentions as you do. This doesn't mean that people are intentionally wanting to hurt you, but they could be careless in their choices and actions, and this could affect you. There are energies around you that could lower your vibration, and it's important you become aware of them and aren't brought down by them. That's it. See? That's exactly the answer. Extended message. If you are in a situation where you feel that not everything is as clear as it seems, trust your intuition. There are energies in your current situation that aren't fully aligned with your intentions and goals, or with kindness. Follow your intuition about whom to trust and what to trust. If you can take time to retreat or to step out of this situation to assess what is going to be beneficial for you, do so. In any event, it is time to call on the energy of protection and to place yourself in a space that feels safe. So, and I also was feeling like in this, be careful who you tell all your business to. It's wonderful to tell people things, but if you're creating, don't be telling everybody what you're creating. Just let it come. Not everybody needs to know all of your business, right? That's just that many more people who are thinking about whatever. Yeah. All right, the next card is the Shield Maiden. Okay, the Shield Maiden. This card's pretty cool, because if you were to see a high school picture of me, I look like this. Shield Maiden, make plans and focus. Let's see what this says. Have a plan or strategy in place before moving forward. Yeah. Definitely, for sure. The Shield Maiden is the female knight in shining armor. In Viking traditions, women were seen as equal to men, and so joined them on their raids and fought with them on the battlefield. In this deck, the Shield Maiden brings a fiercely feminine energy, the power to be a warrior while retaining feminine sensitivity. She is ready to put her plan into action. She's ready to go into battle. Okay, stop. I am also in my circles of people. There are a lot of women who want to be in their feminine, but there are so many men who don't know how to be the masculine in the proper way. We either have masculines who are needing mommies, so we're unable to have that masculine protector provider energy for us to be able to be that feminine cup, and doing all of our things. Or the masculine energy is too forceful and domineering and controlling and suffocating. So there's a real double side right now going on that I can see in a lot of places. Now, I'm not saying this is everywhere, so if this does not fit you, don't feel bad or don't get hurt by what I'm saying. I'm talking about groups and groups of people that I belong to, and listening to voice clips and texts and things, and seeing the same rhythms, over and over again. So what is this saying about that? We're having to be this powerful woman, right? But we're still, right now, the earth needs that feminine softness, the feminine love. I mean, Gaia is feminine. It's a feminine planet, So, all right, her medicine. So her medicine means like her, what does she bring? Her medicine helps us move beyond any unsettled feelings when our plans start to take shape and follow through with our strategies in order to be where we want to be. Shield maidens worked together in times gone by to shield maidens work together in times gone by to create shield walls of protection. So she also shows us how to work with others in order to bring our plans to fruition. So it's also talking about other women. So, that's the one thing in the collective that is very evident, that there are definite pockets of women coming together, but there are definite pockets of women fighting each other. And so we really need to come together, and not in a very you hear the phrase feminazi, right? Feminism is can be as toxic as toxic masculinity if it's where you're forcing something through. Femininity is soft. It's like water, look at how water can bore through rocks, right? Water is very, very powerful and strong, but yet it's soft and gentle. And its soft and gentleness is its power, right? So this is what you have to think of. It's talking about that the shield maiden is about the strategy and the plan, having a foundation before you make a move. That's just smart, right? Okay, so they worked together in order to bring plans to fruition. So that's what this is really feeling into, is like, let's get these powerful women together, groups of powerful women together, instead of not necessarily fighting, because I don't feel that there's fighting, but a lot of times there is still this leftover ego, negative ego, where I feel I'm better at this, I feel this one's better at this, no, you're not, this, there's a lot of dissension still, and it's, there doesn't need to be any of that. Everybody is good at what they are good at, and everybody brings a flavor to the soup, right? So we need all of it, and we just need to be able to figure out how to gently and vulnerably open our hearts to allow every single energy in, and those energies who are trying to take over and control and everything, soften yourself as well, so that you're not the only one who is in charge or manning the ship, so to speak. If you're a feminine energy who is taking control of a situation, soften enough to see other feminine energies that can do the same, because together, if you can find 3-4 strong women to do the work that the one was trying to do by herself, can you just imagine the amount of change and what can be created, right? But there has to be this release, this vulnerability, and the space to be able to do that lovingly and not worry about feelings being hurt, or that there's work against you, or any of these types of things. Here's our extended message. Taking some time to assess what your next steps will be. All great warriors have a plan. You are a sensitive being, and if you are not prepared for the tasks you are taking on, you can end up feeling exposed and helpless. See, this is exactly what I was just saying. The ancestor guidance that is coming to you now is a reminder that you have a warrior's heart, and that you have it within you to be more prepared and focused than you have been recently. So, have a strategy in place, and then let your guides support you as you move forward. So, also, I keep hearing Sonia. So I'm wondering if this is a person that I know also needs to hear this certain message, that there's something big that's coming to her. Anyway, this is the reading. This is the message that came in. Definitely about some feminine work that needs to be done. I really, really feel that, there's no animosity, there's no negativity about the masculine within these words of mine. It's just saying that, their work has to be done by them, our work has to be done by us, and together we will come together, we'll come together. So let's just do our work. Let's do our work, and let's support each other during this time. Let's stop being alone. There's too many of us isolated and alone. And yet, why is there 50 or 60 women in circles, groups of people, all doing the same isolation? Why can't we be coming together? Why can't we be supporting each other? Why can't we listen and say, I feel you. I may not be in the same exact emotional, mental space as you are, but I get it, whatever that may be. All right, that's the end of that message.